NSFW, Redditors who unexpectedly found someone you know on a porn site. How did that go? Kinda ducked up, but when I was 13, one of the ads for the porn site I was on had photoshopped a picture of one of the girls at our school's Facebook picture. The original pic was kind of suggestive, but it was her backside and her turning around looking at the camera. Someone just took the picture, added her to a different background and added the text like hot horny 18-year-old ready to duck or something like that. I was shocked and I didn't know what to do about it. She was 13 and someone was using her Facebook picture for a porn ad, and it wasn't like I could say, hey, I was watching porn and I saw you on an ad. What's even more messed up is wondering how someone even found that picture. Could it have been someone on her friends list? Google's database? And what were the odds that I would just happen to see that? I eventually told my friends what I saw and they all admitted to see it at some point. Someone revenge posted nude photos of mine on Pornhub. I was a minor back then, so the site's customer support was very helpful and nice. I just sent them the link to the album the poster created and they deleted it right away. Edit. Wording. Unexpectedly? That it took me all day. Who did you find? Your mom. So, back in college I worked at a store known for lotion and candles. A lot of us were young and the same age, so hung out on weekends. One girl was a bit older and crazy. Loved to tell us about all the sex she had. We assumed it was jokes for attention. She unexpectedly quit and moved to California without so much as a goodbye. One night at a party, one of the guys came and said we all had to see this video. He opens up a website about golden showers, and there is our former co-worker, naked on the floor, having guys pee on her. Not only was she on a site getting peed on, but also on another having multiple guys come on her face. There was also a video of her in the back of a limo, drunk, begging to find a homeless guy to have homeless babies with. Of course every co-worker found out and joked about it. We thought the end was near until one day in the back room, my manager came back and said we had to come out. She was dying laughing. There was a guy buying candles wearing a shirt that had the website we found former co-worker getting peed on. Hope she's good and doesn't have homeless babies. Kinda cool. Made me realize she was a tier 6 with everyone and not just me. She refused to give blowjobs but expected you to go down on her. To give some background, my sister used to be a stripper. She made really good money and she made some lifelong friends. When I was about 14, I was on my older sister's Facebook profile, looking for a funny picture of my niece when I came across a photo set of her and her best female friend posing and stuff. I decided to look because it looked normal from the preview pictures shown, but it said there were 20 or so more, so I looked. I wish I hadn't. It was a photo set of her and her best friend having sex. I guess it was a porno photo shoot. Saw tongue on vaginal. Vaginal on vaginal. Dildo in vaginal. Just full on lesbian porn. I messaged my sister and told her I was scared for life. She asked why. I told her I saw the photo set. Being the dumb kid I was, I tried to find it again so my mom would believe me, but it was gone. She deleted it and her entire account. I'm 21 now and she still doesn't have a Facebook to this day. Broke up with a girl when I was 20. She moved out west. 2 years later a buddy emails me a link with OMG. Watch this. I open it. She's getting drilled with a facial ending. Her eyes were so glazed over, not with jizz. She was obviously on some hard drugs. Made me feel really sad for her. Reached out to her and have remained friends ever since. She's happily married now with 2 kids. Normal life. Basically said she was broke at the time and was offered $100 and a G of coke to do it. Happened 3 times. 2 guys I thought of like my brother, so it was just gross. One guy played the same tone deaf asshole he was in real life. He must have known somebody to get that part. Clarification. His manner was tone deaf. He was just mean when he meant to be dominant. We didn't get along. A girl that I took to JR prom ended up getting into some very bad porn, but from time to time I look for it and fancy myself a tug. Edit. Not English. My husband was browsing some porn site and saw a banner ad that had a pic of a friend's wife with a link to her page. He called me over to share in the freak out. Following the link, we found a full-on porn site with pics of her and our friend, and also discovered that she specialized in squirting. They used her actual very unusual first name on the site and had a shipping address in their small, rural hometown for people to send her toys to use in the videos. They were selling squirted on panties and sheets too. It was crazy. We knew she worked as a stripper, but had no idea they had branched out to squirting porn. We were shocked and a bit amused. A short time later they told us about it. I don't remember telling them we knew beforehand. I guess they just wanted to talk about it. They asked me for photography advice. I was working as a photog at the time, and asked my husband about upgrading her page and storing pics. We gave them some advice help and warned them about it being so identifiable. I think it stayed up for a while after that. I didn't look at it again. Too weird. I acted like I didn't know and flirted with her. She said this isn't the right time to start a relationship. So much for sparking up an old flame. Found my tattoo artist in a softcore video. It was pretty hot and I used it for science. I never mentioned it to her as I feel like it's a hot secret to have. Rubbed my D-raw in a few hours. This is why ARP's question is pointless. We all know that we could open a deli with all the meat being beaten. Beating your meat is gonna give you a pretty tough cut. My brother-in-law's brother convinced his wife to start doing amateur webcam stuff for extra money and had the guy at work, in a family business, help him set it all up. Word got around and a lot of us downloaded her private videos. He finally found out everyone had seen his wife naked and got super pissed at all of us. They ended up moving shortly after from Oklahoma to an oceanfront property in Florida. He went from making $35k a year to not working at all because his wife was pulling $300k masturbating part-time. There was a mum at my primary school. She was a hooker turned porn star, and one day a dad saw her picture in a porno mag. Turns out she's done a bunch of itty porn. Everyone at school loved her from then on. Her poor kid. No one knows his name. He's just the porn star's son. Girl I went to HS with did porn. They looked exactly like I imagined. Saw her on 4chan actually. Go figure. Turns out she actually was flattered when I brought it to her attention. We were friends in high school, so I didn't know how she would react. She gave me and my best friend free passwords to her website she just launched. We were very happy. So, I was living up to my username and cruising the amateur section one day when I saw a thumbnail that made me stop scrolling to take a look. Those tattoos look familiar. Wait. Is that less than recent ex's number more than? It is. WTF. Wait, who's that with? Oh duck, that's me. So I'm sitting there freaking out a bit because my pale ass is on the internet and text her. She admitted to putting up and apologized, which really caught me off guard. She said she was going to remove it, but last time I checked it was still there. 78% approval rating, so that was a nice boost to the Olay confidence. I found my friend has had a porno doppelganger. Actress hasn't worked in a while. At first I thought it was her for sure because they shared so many physical characteristics, smiles, body type, and even voice. I did a search of the actress and found the actress increased breast size in later videos and my friend stayed the same. I recall thinking about the year or so where she and I were the other's wingman at parties. I also thought about the times I dropped her off at random parties and had to wonder if I had dropped her off at a porno shoot. I was glad it wasn't her in the end. As an Asian guy, I only watch Asian porn if it's amateur because I find the pixelated naughty bits annoying. I was really surprised when I found a video of me ducking someone because that person swore that the video would be for personal use only. Thankfully our faces weren't in frame and I couldn't see how someone would connect me to that video given that it was in a different Asian country from where I live. Never had it happen personally, but my ex has a couple friends who have done it. One of her friends is married to a member of one of the bigger bands from the 80s and 90s and she's graced the pages of Playboy and Playboy International. I've seen her on the cover of an issue and I've been told she's on a couple of them. My ex has another friend who's been in several porn videos from the 90s as well. I've never seen those and I've never met either of them, but I definitely like to meet the Playboy chick. My ex sparingly parties like she's in the 80s, but her two friends apparently still do pretty regularly. Definitely sounds like a fun time. Stumbled on her being ducked 7 ways till Sunday randomly on Pornhub, but didn't say anything to her. Then one day she just admitted to it. I think she thought I'd judge her for it because I'm a bit of a prude, but we had a laugh and a bit of a cringe at some of the people she's performed with. She's happy doing it and I'm happy that she's found something she loves doing. Had a big crush on a sorority girl from college who was in a few of my classes. Couple years later find she's a porn star with a rather large collection of films. My right arm was sore for days. And the cock didn't fare much better. Although I never found it, my ex-stepsister from my dad's third ex-wife is apparently on some porn sites. I only found out about this years ago when my dad's wife asked my wife for advice on how to deal with an unruly 18-year-old. Apparently since 15. That was always a threat of hers, that the moment she turned 18 she would make a ton of money doing porno. So high school just didn't matter. She was in juvenile detention for a few months. Apparently when she turned 18 some guys flew her out to California and made the videos. She was missing for like a month. This was 10 years ago. I've never heard anything about it since, but I know it always bothered my dad's wife. A dude I went to school with from kindergarten through high school reportedly became a gay porn star. As much looking as I did for his videos, I never found them. 8 hours. Nearly 700 comments and not a single ducking worthwhile link to corroborate any of these stories. SMH. Not exactly porn, but I'm a big fan of Louis Theroux. He makes excellent documentaries and has been doing so since the 90s. Anyways. One of the documentaries he made was on a brothel in the US. It was this ranch in the middle of the desert. Louis develops a bond with one of the girls. You can tell he feels for her. She seems sweet but had been through a lot of emotional it. Anyways, you can't help but feel for her. It's a great documentary and definitely worth checking out. So one night like a year ago I go down the rabbit hole of the internet and start looking up what happened to former guests of Louis documentaries. So I'm checking up on a few and finally start looking into what happened to the girl from the brothel episode. So I check the ranch page. Apparently they had changed names. I'm scouring through the list of girls to see if the girl from the doc is still working there or if she got away from the business and had a better life for herself. All of a sudden I notice one of the girls as I'm scrolling. I scroll back up and I'm like, wait, WTF. I see a girl I know on there. Check out her profile. Yet definitely her. She had changed her name, but it was for sure her. Such a weird ass coincidence. I found a few friends on FetLife. So that was interesting. Also a few others with modeling careers.